Yeah.
how do you get from PLS and PLSX to PLP? Maybe that's a good way to frame it.
Yeah. So if you go to the PulseX site and you go into let's see, where is it?
Is
Under
it?
trade, you'll see liquidity.
At the top of my head,
Oh, and it's
Pulse
funny that you
X.
mentioned you were like on the fence about, because I was totally on the fence about posting that reply too. I was like, man, I don't know too much about this, but
I'm glad
that's
you did, man. It led to this conversation. It's awesome. Yeah, I appreciate you did. I know that's why, like, sometimes I'm like, should I? And then I do it and I'm like, oh God, I hope that was good. And then it leads to good things sometimes. So I'm glad you did. So yes, I'm there. I'm at the let's go to
so under
farms.
trade, uh, and so
Oh,
this is too. It's like a little bit confusing how to navigate, but you go to trade, and under that drop down list, you'll see liquidity. If you click on, so hold your mouse over trade. Oh yeah, actually it's there too.
yeah,
Same thing. And you just
yeah.
click on add liquidity. You can select what liquidity pairs you want to provide.
Let's see.
And
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on the calculation or how the number of PLP you get actually gets calculated, but I think it's based on a variety of factors, maybe like if it needs, or how much is already in there, could potentially factor in there. Without looking at the back end, not sure, but you can add in a number of pulse and an equal value of pulse X. And the connect wallet down there will be supply liquidity, and you just click on that, and it'll give you. So you can see the numbers are different, but the value should, they should roughly equal the same value on both sides of the trading pair. And when you supply liquidity on the bottom where it says connect wallet, it'll change to supply liquidity. You click on that, you'll get PLP. And if you don't click on the add to MetaMask button real quick, you'll be like, where's my PLP? Because it
Oh
doesn't show up in
yeah.
your wallet, and you're like, it's like nowhere else on the site.
Yeah. I remember when I did it. I don't even know if I actually. I think maybe I did this or I did some other. I feel like I did some other part of the process, but I got. Eventually, I was just kind of clicking through, and I'm like, okay, it makes sense that PLP. So yeah, so what it represents is it? So what is it? Does it stand for like pulse chain liquidity pool token? Like what? I guess
Well,
what
I mean that's a good guess. I was gonna guess it was paired liquidity providing token or
okay,
something like that. It could be pulse
okay.
chain liquidity provider token or something like that.
And its purpose is to so you basically you put up Pulse and Pulse X, and then you get PLP, and then of course that's your MetaMask, so you know it's in your wallet. And then is that token tradable? Like, is there gonna be like a market? I just like all these things come in my head. Like, is that or is it? Can you only use it on the DEX to then uh, start earning incentive coin?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't looked into the actual token contract to see if it's got like the tradable values. But
Good point.
if you go to earn, and you go to farms, and then you click, so this is where all the farms where you can earn incentive token are, and you can notice there's only Pulse X and Pulse right now. I don't know if it's going to change in the future or if it's just going to be this, but you click on there, and on the right hand side where it says connect wallet, you'll approve the amount of PLP you want to stake, and then
Yeah.
you'll click it again to finalize supplying the liquidity, and then you'll start earning ink like every couple seconds or whatever over here on the left. um, so yeah, I mean that's it. And then you can add liquidity, you can pull out your ink, you can pull out your PLP from the farm, and then you can go back to liquidity, and you can pull out your liquidity. So, like where you originally added liquidity and it just was like a blank box in the middle that said connect your wallet to view your liquidity.
Right.
That'll populate with your liquidity pairs that you provided, and then you can choose to withdraw your liquidity. And I did notice that when you withdraw your liquidity, it burns a certain amount. So
Hmm.
there's some caution. It's like, I don't know if the best strategy is to just set it and forget it and just pretend that you know lost all your coins and just collect the incentive token over time. But there's a chance of like impermanent loss where it's like if the pairs aren't stable, one coin could decrease in value, the other one could shoot up in value, and you'd get like kind of like a lopsided trade back, and it could end up in less being returned than you started providing. So that is where
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with.
So the question too
Yeah.
is, so this is how you earn incentive token, but isn't there a, so this is it. Okay. So in this pool, in the PulseChain PulseX pool, you can earn incentive token, but there'll be other pools with other pairs that you can earn, just like Pancake Swap, a lot of stuff like that. You can earn the special community tokens and stuff. Is that correct?
That's what I believe. No, so I tried adding just for fun, just to see what would happen. I tried adding liquidity for Pulse and the Hex pair. There wasn't a liquidity farm. I just wanted to see what would happen if I added liquidity, and I still got the same PLP token. So I was like, I don't know what that means. Like, is it just going to be a single farm, or is there going to be like a farm for each pair? I would imagine that you'd want for each pair, but yeah,
That was,
with only
I think
one
that,
farm open, it's hard to know.
yeah, I think maybe that's just like a test net thing where they're like, yeah, let's just, we're not going to test the other kind of pools right now. Or maybe they're like upgrading it. Maybe we get a couple weeks from now, you'd be like, oh, you can go try to farm your other stuff now. I think that's what I've heard, the speculation of how it's supposed to work. But I wanted to click on, will this show me this PLP contract? Okay. So can we tell if it's like an ERC, would it need to be our ERC20? Yes, to be traded code.
It's gotta have
Let's see. Creation code. Is it not? Where's
yeah,
the Solidity?
it's gotta be just a regular PRC20, because it's got tokens and it's got token transfers, so obviously it could be transferred.
Interesting.
But yeah,
I
I don't know the actual code behind the token. And
don't want to
it's
speculate on secret hidden token here, but we haven't confirmed that it's not tradable and would have a market for some reason. It's interesting.
oh, you know what you could do? You could go into, if you have PLP, we could go into PulseX and try trading it, see if that even works.